simp, not a simp. A simp, not a simp. A simp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
My bitch a choosy lover, never fuck without a rubber. Never in the streets like it on top of the cover. Money on the dresser, drive a compressor. Top notch hoes get the most, not the lesser. Trash like the buck for $40 in the club. Fucking up the game, bitch, it gets no love. She be cross country, giving all that she got. 1,000 a pop, I'm pulling business off the lot. I smashed up the gray one, bought me a red. Every time we hit the parking lot, we turn head. Some hoes wanna choose, but them bitches too scary. Your bitch chose me, you ain't a pimp, you a fairy.
A simp, not a simp. A simp, not a simp. A simp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
Baby, you been rolling solo, time to get down with the team. The grass is greener on that other side. If you know what I mean, I show you shit you never seen. The 7 wonders of the world. And I can make you the 8th if you wanna be my girl. I say my girl, I don't mean my woman. That ain't my style. Need a real street stalker. Walk a green mile. You piling up the paper on the dining room table. Cause you able to realize I'm the truth and not a fable. Baby, rockin' Russian sable. Keep that chiller on the rack. What I look like with some $1,000 shit up on my back. I'm $1 million man that need $1 billion bitch. Put my pimpin' in your life. Watch your daddy get rich. Easy as ABC. Simple as 1, 2, 3. Get down with UGK. Pimp CBU with B. Cause what's a hoe with no pimp? And what's a pimp with no hoe? Don't be a lame. You know the game and how it goes. We try to get chose.
A simp, not a simp.
Oh.
A simp, not a simp. A simp, not a simp. We eat so many shrimp. I got iodine partners.
Hello, everybody. It is Artie of Artie's Corporate Fiction. Hope you guys had a good weekend. We had President's Day yesterday, so that's why you guys saw me on Skyrim. Well, all 5 of you saw me on Skyrim yesterday. But we have a two-parter here. We're going to take a look at this hearing that took place last week between the I don't know, arrogant sovereigns. I mean, a lot of sovereign citizens are also very arrogant, so I'm not really narrowing it down much. But the dude that was in front of Judge Simpson for 2 hearings and did his best to piss Judge Simpson off, which is something you never want to do. And his hearing was last week, and we're going to take a look at it. It's about 2 hours long, so I'm going to split it into 2 streams. So we'll watch the first half tonight, second half tomorrow. And I heard it was pretty good. For any other news updates, Maik and Serana. Yeah, Serana's being a bully. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like ever since they've been around, I've yet to ever see Maik hiss at her. Like, ever. It's always her hissing at him and her like initiating the attack. So I guess that's I suppose that's normal. I don't know. It's been a long time since I had somebody as young as Serana, but yeah. And by the time I got Winston, Archer was already over a year old. So, and I think Winston was like 10 months. So we'll see. Anyway, let's get back into it. Yeah, if it's this guy. If you guys, I can't remember his damn name, but it's this guy. So I'm excited. So let me make sure the volume's up for you guys. Mr. Magoo. Yeah. I heard that's what he's called.
All right. 14A District Court for County of Washington, State of Michigan is back in session. The Honorable Judge Simpson presides.
You may be seated. All right. Court does call the case of the people versus Daniel Magoo.
Echelon of people.
State your name, sir. All right, Mr. Magoo. As with every proceeding, I do have to advise.
Okay, I completely forgot his name was actually Magoo. I thought that was a nickname that Mike gave him. All right.
That you are before the court on a charge of resisting and obstructing a police officer. As we have been through it before, I'm not going to ask you to acknowledge any of this. I think that you understand what I am indicating. That is a felony punishable by up to 2 years incarceration, $2,000 fine plus court costs. I would apprise you have elected to represent yourself in this matter. There are indeed perils with representing yourself. I will also advise you that you're held to the same standards as anyone else conducting a proceeding before this court, whether it be with regard to evidence, the rules of evidence, the rules of procedure, and the like. And court is not going to show you any favoritism. I'm not going to treat you better or worse than either side. If, as indicating, you're elected to represent yourself, if at any time you wish to be represented by an attorney, could not afford to hire one, you have to inform the court of that. The court will assure that you will have counsel. All right. Other people? Yes, sir.
Just, Your Honor, for the record, I'm here I'm not here on a general appearance. I'm here as a.
Oh, all right. We were doing so well, but he's already starting off with the script.
Making a special appearance. I do not, nor have I ever consented to the personal jurisdiction matter of the court. I'm here to specifically cross-examine my accusers. And then with that being said,
Well, let me just put it to you this way. This court has jurisdiction over you as a person. I also have jurisdiction over the subject matter of these proceedings. So while you may disagree, I think your position is legally insufficient.
all right, I just wanted to notify.
Your position is legally insufficient and irrelevant to anything that we have to do right now. Am I clear? Thank you. Are the people ready to proceed?
We are, Your Honor.
You may call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. With consent, that we will waive opening and I will call Officer.
I don't waive opening, with what consent? What was that? You said with my consent, I didn't consent. What was that?
What?
I just asked some clarification.
You're not required to give an opening at preliminary examination, but if you'd like to, Ms. Lundy.
I do not choose to give an opening.
All right, very good.
Oh,
Thank you. All right, let me call your first witness.
Darnell Tyson.
Sir, please come forward to be sworn.
Your Honor.
okay. Oh my God, my man is jacked. So I'm going to wager a guess here that he is going to say that these officers are not the accusers. It's the fictional state of Michigan, and because they're not here for him to cross-examine, therefore he wins this case, dismissed, not guilty, etc. I mean, that's my prediction.
Michigan Rule of Evidence 615. I am at my request to ask the other officers that will be giving testimony against me. I asked that they leave the room.
Are you making a motion to sequester?
Yes.
In your response to the people?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Witnesses that will testify are hereby ordered sequestered. Thank you.
I mean, in fairness, that's actually not wholly unreasonable.
I wasn't clear on what rule that was cited, but
Wasn't,
thank you.
but I got what he was getting at.
You challenge to part of the testimony about guilty, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so God. So, state, spell your first and last name for the record.
Darnell Tyson, DARNELLTYSON.
Thank you. You may inquire.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. How are you employed?
The Ypsilanti Police Department,
And how long have you been employed in that position?
since April of 20, well, once the academy, I've been on the road since April of last year.
April of 24?
That's fine.
In what capacity are you employed by the Ypsilanti Police Department? A police officer? Were you working on October 11th, 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
What shift were you on that day?
Second shift nights,
What is nights?
6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And what were you wearing that day?
My uniform, my family uniform.
Were you displaying your badge of office? Were you operating a patrol car or a passenger in a patrol car?
Yes, ma'am. Hold on.
Did you happen to come into contact with anybody who's currently in the courtroom on that date?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was that?
Mr. Magoo.
And can you tell me where he's sitting and something that he's wearing, please?
He's wearing a black suit, he's sitting at the table right behind you, right? To your right.
Your Honor, may the record reflect the witness identify the defendant.
That objection record shall so reflect.
Where did you come into contact with him?
On Michigan Ave, I can't remember the exact address, but it's right behind Buffer Reds.
Is that in the city of Ypsilanti, county of Washtenaw, state of Michigan? And when you got to that location, do you recall about what time it was? Nighttime or daytime?
It was early morning.
Early morning? When you got to that location, what did you observe?
We were, it was two people by a car. One was sitting by the front passenger tire and one was standing to his left over him.
Were either one of those people the defendant?
Yes.
Where was the defendant?
He was the person standing up next to the person that was sitting on the ground.
Who else was there when you were on scene?
Myself, Officer Smith, Sergeant Gibbs, Mr. Magoo, and Officer Chief, I'm sorry, and there was his friend, I don't remember his friend's name.
The person that was sitting by the passenger side of the tire was Mr. Magoo's friend?
Yes.
That's when you say his friend, that's who you're referring to?
Yes.
What happened when you got up to the area where Mr. Magoo and his friend were located?
We observed his friend sitting on the ground. We saw a case of open, I think it was seltzer waters and Fireball on the ground. We walked over because we were dispatched to that area for a fight. The description we got of the people involved in the fight did not fit them. But when we saw the gentleman sitting on the ground, kind of slumped over, we just stepped over because we were just trying to see if he was all right.
So you said Fireball. Is that on something, is that a brand name something?
Alcohol.
Alcohol? What happened next?
We were just trying to get a clear understanding of what was going on. Like I said, we witnessed a guy who was sitting on the ground, kind of slumped over. So I presume that he might have been under the influence of alcohol, seeing that we had the filthy waters and the Fireball there. But we were just trying to see if he needed any medical assistance.
Would it be fair to say that Sergeant Gibbs took the lead a little bit when approaching?
Definitely.
After Sergeant Gibbs approached the two men, what happened next?
Sergeant Gibbs gave Mr. Magoo a couple of directives. He asked him to step away. I believe he asked him at least 2 or 3 times to just leave. So which Mr. Magoo did not. At that point, Sergeant Gibbs asked him to leave again. He did not. At that point, we went hands on for obstructing our ability to investigate what was going on with the gentleman sitting on the ground.
What happened after you went hands on?
Okay, so here's what I may have missed it earlier in his testimony. As I understand it, they were responding to another call about somebody who was probably drunk and slumped over or something like that. Was Mr. Magoo involved at all in this situation, or did he just like walk up to the scene like frauditor style? I guess I missed that part.
We took Mr. Magoo kind of around to where the car was. We put handcuffs on him. We walked him over to Sergeant Gibbs' patrol vehicle. At that point, as we were going to put him in the vehicle, we had to search anybody that, before we could put him into the vehicle. So as we were doing I wasn't doing a search. Officer Smith was. I was just there to keep control of Mr. Magoo at that point.
In what way were you there to keep control of him? What were you doing?
I was holding him by his arm.
Where were you standing relative to where he was standing?
At first, while Officer Smith was searching him to the right, I was to the left of Mr. Magoo. After he finished searching him to the right, we switched positions. I went to the right side, Officer Smith to the left. So
Mr. Magoo is currently facing a vehicle and you're standing behind.
Thank you for the 20 moments. Yeah, I do remember that the calls for a fight. I should have corrected myself. It was for a fight, but was Magoo involved? I guess that's the question, is whether he was involved in the incident itself.
Behind him to his right or
it was a drunk guy's friend.
to his left, depending on what side of him is being searched. What happened while Officer Smith was searching the defendant?
Mr. Magoo made a couple other statements. I don't really know I really don't remember what those were. I do remember he made a statement about dashing or scatting, which is kind of like implicating he might run. At that point, I put my arm through here and kind of held him up against the car.
Why did you do that?
Mentioned about running.
Why would putting his arm up and holding him against the car, why would you do that if somebody mentioned they might run? To keep him what?
To keep control.
To keep control. Okay, what happened next?
At that point, Officer Smith was searching the left side of him. He asked about, were you guys looking for a lottery ticket? He said, I didn't have anything in my pocket. At that point, Mr. Magoo, he kind of flinched a little bit one time. So I put my arm up a little bit more just to gain a little bit more control. And then at that point, he kicked up with his right leg and caught me in the groin area.
His leg hit you in the groin area while you were standing behind him? And were you wearing a body worn camera on this night? Have you had a chance to review a copy of the recording from your body worn camera today?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it a fair and accurate depiction of the original recording and of what happened that night? Now I move to admit People's Exhibit 1, Darnell Tyson's body worn camera that has previously been disclosed to defendant in discovery. I'm going to be playing.
Any objection to its admission?
I object to we don't need to play the video.
Whether we need to play it. What is your objection?
My objection is I would like to finish hearing the testimony before we play the series of events that Mr. Tyson has already had time to review with himself.
Would the court like a response?
Objection is overruled. You may go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. And is the exhibit admitted?
Yes, the exhibit's admitted.
Thank you. And with the court's permission, I'd like to play from the beginning of the video to about the 4-minute and 10-second mark.
All right, that's fine.
I was gonna say, do we get to see it?
Object. What is the relevance? Why are we playing it?
I would say the body camera footage of the incident that involved your arrest would be very, very relevant to these proceedings. Are you... What?
What do you mean? What's your objection? You're saying that what's contained on the video isn't relevant? Hold on, can you pause?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
No,
It just started.
what is
sorry.
your,
What is the relevance for Officer Tyson's testimony of this video? What are we,
he has to lay the foundation regarding the video, which they've done. I've admitted it. If your objection is as to relevance, clearly what occurred that day is absolutely relevant and central to its issue in this case. So your objection to relevance is overruled. Ms. Lundy, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, what are we calling for? Please. What have you talked to? Please, what are we calling for? So we're going to what are we calling for? This is so no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's I'm telling you, I'm not things right now out here. Do you understand me? You think I'm drunk? Walk away. Here, walk away. No, I'm telling you that I sir. You got to go to me. No, she has nothing back. I just told you. Walk away. Walk away. All you have to do is walk away. Sit. Say that no sense. Okay, that's fine. All you have to do is walk away. All right? This is illegal. You can't do this. You understand that? Okay, you don't get it. Put it in your car. Stand up. All right, put them in the back seat. Come on. You know, you're supposed to sing your army. Do you? Do you? I'll ask you one more time. nigga broke me, stick me on Harvey. Very simple. So yes or no? All right.
Trying to listen to what he's saying. Hard.
Everybody, one more order.
Searching him, obviously. People say I have audio issues.
What are you looking for? A lottery ticket?
No.
What?
Sure,
No. On a scale? You looking for a lottery ticket? How about an iPhone? What you looking for? I'm looking at you.
I'm not looking for nothing, but I need something. You're not gonna do it. Come on.
What are you looking for?
Well, you're not going to
Oh, body cam falls off. I heard him talk about the lottery ticket, so I understand that from the testimony. Doesn't really show, like, because the body cam fell off,
Officer
doesn't
Tyson,
really
at
show
any
the
time
kick.
did you give the defendant permission to assault you? Did you at any time give the defendant permission to kick his leg back into your crotch?
I know. I know it's just, there's stupid questions, but yeah, they got to be asked, I guess.
Objection. I didn't see any physical harm.
I heard the testimony.
What was that?
What's your objection?
Yeah, he's trying to object substantively to what he stated. That's not a legal objection to anything.
I object. We watched the video, and you're trying to lay that there's evidence of harm. I've seen.
You're trying to
harm.
argue substance.
We watched
That's
it,
not
and
an
not once
objection.
was there-
What is your objection?
Huh?
Your
Perjury. That's my objection.
perjury?
Perjury.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Overruled. Go ahead.
You're trying to confirm that it happened based off the video, and it.
No, Mr. Magoo, here's how it goes. You don't address the prosecutor at all. You address the court.
But she was the trier of the case, Your Honor.
Oh my God.
You're the trier of facts.
Oh my God. The judge is the trier of fact and law in a bench trial. At all points in time, you address the court. You don't address the opposition. Being allowed to address the opposition is a recipe for disaster because it could get very heated very fast. There's just a whole bunch of problems that can happen if opposing counsel were allowed to directly address each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She-
What I have just instructed you is you will not address the prosecutor directly. Is there anything unclear about what I just said?
Yeah,
Oh.
fundamentally, I thought that you're the trier of the facts, Your Honor.
Is there any?
I forgot. You're right. This is a preliminary. Well, they call it a preliminary hearing, But I think for all intents and purposes, this is a trial. It's just that this could be appealed up the chain.
Anything unclear with what I have just said?
I'll try to understand what you're saying here. I'll try to avoid that.
Is there anything unclear about what I have just said? I'm going to give you one more shot to answer.
Oh boy.
I need an answer, Mr.
Let it hang.
You're telling me I'm not.
Thank you, Mr. Aaron. We're not to address the prosecutor. If you need to address the prosecutor, Commissioner Magoo, you can ask the court prior to your addressing, because I'm not going to have your behavior toward anybody in this courtroom. Understood?
I understand that.
Thank you. Ms. Lundy, anything further?
Ask the witness.
Cross-examination.
Oh boy. Serrano's chasing a little bouncy ball. Mike is observing.
Hey, good afternoon, sir. Can you state your name and badge number for the record, please? Just for my end.
Thompson, 39.
295, thank you. What was your assignment on October 11th? Approximately 2:50 in the morning.
We're dispatched, like I said, to Michigan Avenue, reference bike.
And at that time, when you showed up to the, where did you, it was a parking lot? Public parking lot? Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I love his face.
At that time, did you ID anybody that was suspect to the dispatch that you were called to? No active fights? Do you remember the dispatch record, how they described the people? Was I an interference of any medical emergency? Was I in what was your reason for contact with me?
We got there, we saw a gentleman sitting on the ground. We saw alcoholic beverages that were open, and he was slumped over.
Okay, so alcohol, somebody's a gentleman slumped over, and
Yeah.
then me. So what was your
Yeah.
reason to engage with me?
Reason for coming up was not to engage you.
Oh, okay.
Actually, just to ensure that the gentleman sitting on the ground was okay.
Okay, so it was just a courtesy stop?
Objection. Ask and answer.
Sustained.
So yes, it's already asked and answered. They said that the original call was for a fight. There wasn't any fight there, as you guys mentioned, but they noticed there's a dude slumped over, alcohol bottles around him. Obviously, that gives them more than enough reason to engage with him to see if he's okay. I mean,
In your words, would you say it was a courtesy?
Objection. Ask and answer.
Sustained.
What is the objection?
Asked and answered.
Asked and answered. Did you suspect the gentleman on the ground that was laying slouched over? Did you suspect him of any crime?
No, sir.
no.
Did you suspect me of any crime?
At that moment, no. Would be my answer.
In that video, you heard Officer give Sergeant Gibbs, I'm sorry. You heard him clarify that this was something different. Okay. Was it my legal obligation to leave?
Objection, Your
That's an objection.
Also the ultimate conclusions to the question.
Yep. That obviously calls for a legal conclusion.
Sustained.
Ultimate conclusion. Can you cite any legal authority that would permit a public citizen to leave a public place?
Objection is the form of the question.
Sustained.
Mm-hmm.
As to what? What was it?
It's the form of the question.
In form of your question?
The form of your question.
Okay.
It's improper.
Okay. Under what law or ordinance was I required to leave?
Same objection as to the ultimate conclusion.
Yes.
I'm trying to understand why the probable cause, Your Honor, as to why I was arrested. There's still no clarity.
Oh my fucking God. That's the whole point of what you were there. You're not there. The point of this cross is to dispute the facts. In other words, if you're going to dispute if you're trying to dispute the probable cause, you want to say, you know, I wasn't told, wasn't told to step away, or the officers only gave me a half second to respond when being asked to go away until they arrested me. Like they only gave me half a second time to respond before they just decided to hook me up. Like you want so if you want that to happen, if you want to do that, you would ask them, how many times did you ask me to step away from my friend? Did it look like I was I was on the, or I would say I was on the way, I was walking away from my friend while you were telling me to go away. Was I not? Those are kind of questions that you would want to ask, to say like you weren't obstructing, you were not obstructing their investigation. But if you're not doing that, you're just asking, you're just trying to make a conclusion out of, or trying to assert to him, let me do it this way. You're basically asking him to restate his direct testimony, just basically in a different way. You're not challenging the officer in the way that you think you are.
And that's what I'm trying to get at here today.
I'm not through that question. So I'll sustain the objection. You can give it another shot.
Can you define probable cause?
Sustained.
Your Honor, the
Kill
officer
me.
and field officer, they have to be able to understand what probable cause here.
In
It-
what context are you talking probable cause?
Your Honor, I
Your
was
question is large and vague.
to define probable cause as an arresting officer.
Is it probable cause to arrest? Probable cause in terms of this proceeding? In what context do you wish to try to
Probable,
describe?
yeah, probable cause to arrest me that night, or any reasonable articulated suspicion.
You may.
It's actually two different things. The defendant was originally asking about probable cause to arrest, and then he revised it and said he's asking specifically about the probable cause to arrest him, which is not the
Yeah.
question he asked. So my objection,
Correct.
as it will continue.
I'll sustain the objection. I'll allow him to attempt to rephrase.
Can you do it? Is he gonna do it? The question would be, how would I say this without trying making a conclusion, making a legal conclusion? What facts? But that would be a damning thing, because the officer would just be able to to spin it in the way that he wants to. Ultimately, he's going to end up asking a fairly open-ended question.
I'm trying my hardest to word this properly, so please, in efforts to get clarity here, I'm trying to. I'm trying to figure out under what authority is there when you knew that I wasn't a suspect to any crime
Authority to do
Oh my God.
what?
to arrest me.
So maybe we can get past this.
Yeah, I'm trying to. but-
An officer can arrest for a crime they believe or suspect was committed in their presence. That would be one basis. Based upon what I saw in the video, there would be a basis for that arrest, if that helps you at all. So you can go on to your next question.
Okay. Did I physically interfere with you at all?
Yes.
At what point?
Sergeant Gaines asked you to walk away. We didn't ask you to leave, we just asked you to walk away.
You asked me to walk away. How far would have been a safe distance?
Objection.
Speculation,
Yes.
sustained.
Yes. Yeah, that's speculation.
If I walked 5 feet away, would that have satisfied your order?
We just asked you to walk away.
Yes or no? It would have satisfied your order? Okay.
Okay.
So until the time that I was arrested, what duties did I physically prevent you from doing?
We were
That's a fair question.
to figure out what was going on.
Finally, that's a fairly reasonable question. Finally,
with your friend,
but again, it's open-ended, which creates a problem.
and because you were in it for like, we walked up, we raised up, we weren't there, we were there for the gentleman sitting on the ground, appeared to be intoxicated. Based on the circumstances, we saw open alcohol and the fireball, which is alcohol, on the ground towards his feet.
So your duty was to safeguard my friend?
No, at that time, we were just trying to see if he needed any medical attention.
Are you a medical expert?
No. But it's part of the. No, an officer's not a medical expert, but it's part of a general officer's duties is to basically be doing welfare checks, a base level medical attention. Like again, they're asked to do like a lot of different things. They're first responders. So just because they're not an EMT doesn't mean that they can't go up to a guy and say, "Hey, you okay?"
Did I consent to your arrest?
Objection. Speculation.
Sustained.
Speculation.
I would have I would have overruled that and made the officer answer. I don't think so. I don't think so.
When Sergeant Smith began searching me, did I show you any signs of hesitation, or did I feel like I was threatened? Did I show you any signs?
Objection as to speculation of what the defendant thought. This witness
Yeah.
can't answer what the defendant thought. The
Exactly.
rest of the questions.
Did I do anything?
I'll overrule the objection. Let him answer it if he can.
Okay.
Did I do anything to make you feel like you were threatened after the arrest? So there was 2 vehicles, correct? Let me rephrase it. Sorry. There's 2 vehicles, right? The first vehicle is the one that the gentleman slouched over, correct?
Sorry.
Okay. You guys detained me up against that vehicle, right? Is that correct?
We're being
Yes.
detained. We were just moving you out of the way.
You were moving me out of the way with handcuffs?
We didn't have cuffs on you at that time.
What was the point of moving me out of the way?
Because you wouldn't go out of the way.
Okay. So at which point in time did you decide that the handcuffs?
We have to get control of somebody's hand.
Okay. So was I under arrest at this time? Just detained. Okay.
You would probably been detained at that point.
During this time, did you guys ask for any permission to search me?
We don't have to ask for permission to search you. Should be detained or at that point. Squad car has to be searched. For confidentiality.
Do you know under what grounds that is?
Yes,
Is that
that is
public?
absolute, what he
That's
just described is the
department?
law.
Your Honor,
He has,
for
my
several.
God.
Mr. Magoo,
Oh no.
when an officer is detaining somebody, they have the right to
Yes.
do a pat-down search
Yes.
for any contraband or weapons or anything that might harm the officer or anyone around. That
Even if the
is
arrest is
the
unlawful?
law. That is the,
I never
law.
consented to any of it.
doesn't matter.
And we still don't have a crime that I've
It
done.
doesn't matter.
Your question is. Your consent's not required.
We're still trying to figure out a
It
crime.
doesn't matter.
What was the probable cause to arrest me on October 11th?
I would object as to timeline, because I want to make sure it's very specific, what time.
I'll sustain that objection because I think it's vague. You can rephrase the question so you can be more specific.
Under which action made it deemed necessary to arrest me?
You weren't under arrest at that time, you were just being detained.
If you were to think about the night, the whole night, what exact moment defined what I did?
Okay. If I'm going, I'm sorry. I apologize for pausing, but this is what you guys signed up for. You want me to give my 2 cents here. If I'm going to kind of glean what he's trying to say, the way I would ask is, and maybe this is what he's asking right here, is what action do you allege that it made that transition my detainment to an arrest?
That was unlawful.
Sergeant Gibbs asked you to step away. At that point, you were obstructing our ability to investigate what was going on with your friend.
And you didn't suspect him of a crime.
No.
That was
So what duties were you under at that time?
because your friend
Objection.
appeared to be drunk, sir.
Is being drunk illegal?
No.
If you would be intoxicated in public like he was.
Did you charge him with a crime?
Objection, relevant.
Sustained.
Relevance,
Fine,
yes. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What happened to your friend is irrelevant to what you were doing.
Sustained. I don't need
Kill
your
me.
response after my
Kill
leave.
me!
Next question.
You mentioned there was alcohol in the scene.
Yes.
My friend was dispatched for high intox. Correct?
We weren't dispatched there.
I'm sorry. When the Huron Valley ambulance was dispatched to the parking lot where they were dispatched for high intox
Yes,
for my friend.
yes.
All you're doing is just supporting the assertions that the officers had the authority to show up there and engage with the guy, with your friend.
Second, I will, Your Honor, along with the same body cam of Officer Tyson here. I also have another.
Speak up.
At which point did I strike you?
Watch the video, I don't remember exactly.
It was what?
Within seconds of us putting you in the back of the patrol.
Okay. And I was put in the back of the patrol vehicle under, for what reason?
For assaulting police officer.
Let me get this straight. So you first said that you were putting me in the back of the patrol car, which is why when the assault happened, but then you just said that I'm getting placed in the back of the vehicle because of the assault.
I'm going to object as to this mischaracterizes the statements and evidence.
It does. It's also a compound question.
It is.
So
Looking for clarity.
I don't care what you're looking for. You got to ask the questions right. Her objection is sustained.
Let's try. Go play this video back.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's okay.
Do you have a
What was that?
That would be, I think that's.
Yeah, I have it. It's an adapter. Yeah.
I don't know.
But
You can give it to him. See what the heck it is.
okay. At this moment in time, your Sergeant Smith is searching me.
Objection. No. That person's title is not Sergeant Smith.
This isn't Sergeant Smith.
No, it's not.
Who's this?
Oh,
Officer Smith. I'm sorry. Okay. Officer
Kill
Smith
me.
here is searching me.
Kill me. Kill me. This is his body camera. The guy who's testifying, but he thinks that this guy is him.
At this point in time, is it your mission? Is it your goal to put me in the back of the patrol car?
yes, you're being detained.
I'm being detained in your patrol car. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get back forward. It's loud.
Yeah.
I can't even, here, let me try here, the other way. There it is, I got you. Sorry, guys. At this time, have I assaulted you?
From this angle, I cannot tell.
The injury, where were you hit? You were kicked in the groin? Was this when I was held up against the vehicle? Or when? Is that when?
Sorry, you asking me, was I kicked while you were leaning up?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
No.
when you were forcing me up against the vehicle like this,
Yes.
you were, okay. Did you hear that just now?
What?
Did I hear what?
Did you ever hear me say that I know I wasn't going anywhere?
That's irrelevant.
I'm just asking if you heard it. Did you hear that?
I did.
Okay. There was something else I mentioned, a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Was, did you guys find a lottery ticket on me or anything?
No.
Did you find anything illegal on me?
No. Irrelevant.
Yes, you are.
So have I kicked you at this time?
I can't tell for the time.
Okay. But this time your body cam's still on. I was just told that I'm under arrest. Did you hear that?
I did.
Okay. But it wasn't for hitting you or physically harming you in any way. Is that correct?
Okay.
Did I know if you kicked me? I told you from the angle I'm looking at it, I cannot tell.
You can't tell if I kicked you, right? But you don't know from the incident. Was it on the way into the back of the vehicle? Like the back seat? Or like, that's what I'm trying to pinpoint. So right now I'm still, the door just opened and I'm asking, what am I under arrest for? And we still don't have any like,
Is there a question?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Sustained.
is it your belief that have I struck you at this time?
Like I said, I can't tell from this angle that you showed this video.
Okay. Maybe now?
Yeah, I can answer that question based on the angle of the video.
Okay. Did you talk to anybody about your injuries?
I told Sergeant that I kicked in the groin.
You told him, okay. At what point did you tell him that?
He turned around.
You turned around? Okay. So here we are at the, just about where the prosecutor left off at the 4-minute mark. Still, we have not seen any from this angle, right? There's other angles.
Commissioner, is that a question?
No, it wasn't a question.
It was not.
I'm not even paying attention to his extraneous remarks. I understand.
He's tuned out.
So here we are, still, you have not said anything to Sergeant Gibbs, correct?
I mean, when the camera hit the ground, I couldn't hear what was going on at that point.
Okay.
So, did you get home the wife? Oh, you want to see that phone? Yes. What's your wife name? Amanda.
So I guess now the guy's been in the back of the seat of the car, the officers are finally able to engage with the person.
You're home, right? If your wife said you got a key to get in the house.
So you were planning on giving him a ride home?
What is relevant?
So you did not suspect him of any crime. You were gonna actually
Oh
do
my
him a
God.
gesture.
Relevance, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Relevant.
Clarifying.
Yes. You do have a key to get out. Can you show it to me? Yes. Can you show me the key? Yeah, see, and that's not just a book, we have HVA, just high-end tops, because I don't, can't even. Right here. High-end tops. High-end tops. This one goes over. Oh, yes, he is. So, we charge him one interfering. So we charge all the means out, whatever, excuse him, interfering. Get him over there. Did he? Right, kick him?
So, real quick, and I'll cut it off right there. But at that time, it is your understanding that I'm only on arrest for, what was that? He said R&O?
Resisting and obstructing.
Resisting and obstruction. Back to why I didn't walk away the 5 feet. Yep, thank you. Okay, so at this time,
Judge Simpson, he knows it. Dude, you just incriminated yourself.
he's what would you call it? He's basically reciting the charges that he's what would you call that?
Judgment on relevance.
Sustained.
That's what just like, dude, what the hell?
Okay. From my understanding,
Again, I apologize for pausing too much. But basically, what it comes down to, what this guy is trying to argue is like, yeah, I may have supposedly obstructing, but it wasn't that big of a deal, and it was not worth being arrested for. That's probably what I'm thinking that's what I'm thinking that he's thinking about why are we here?
and I believe it is yours as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the point in time where you informed Sergeant Gibbs that you were injured?
I told him I was a kid.
Okay, you told him you were
No, he was
kicked.
injured.
Let me back it up. So now this is the 7-minute mark, a good 5 minutes after my arrest.
He kicked me in the face, bro. He kicked you? Yeah, yeah. Why do you think I got with him? I wasn't trying to do it. Oh, I didn't know you. Right there.
So is it accurate to say that we can't define at which point you were kicked?
You know, I'm gonna, never mind.
You know,
That's true.
It's like, I don't know where to go with that.
Angle of the video from my body cam. I can't tell you exactly when it happened. I know it happened. Because I was there.
You were there.
Yes.
Okay. Is that something is it a joke? Do you find it funny?
What are you asking? Find what?
Being kicked in the groin, funny?
Oh my God.
What's the relevancy of that question?
Just a general question, yeah.
No.
What?
No, he's not gonna answer
No.
that. You're not answering that question, man.
Okay. I'm trying, when the ambulance showed up, did you report these injuries to them?
Your Honor, objected. The witness has said repeatedly that he was kicked. I don't think he's ever said he was injured.
Right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the kick actually like caused him serious harm. He's testifying that you kicked him. Your best argument here is the best argument that you have is like the body camera doesn't clearly show that I was kicked, and you don't even know at what point that I was kicked, that I kicked you. That's the only angle you can go from here, is that the body camera doesn't show it. We're only going off of the officer's testimony, basically.
We're here on an assault charge, Your Honor.
An injury is not necessary to prove an assault.
I know.
No, you do.
I
Excuse me, I apologize.
No, it's okay. I got it. So what is your question?
Did you
Did you
report
receive
the,
medical attention for being kicked?
No, sir.
All right, very good. Go on, move on.
did you at any point tell any medical professional
That would be medical attention.
No, not if.
Yes, it would be, because you would have to report it for it to happen.
Okay.
He's answered that question. Next question.
I just want to play this moment here. This is same camera.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, this appears to be an eventual.
What is this? What am I going?
Yeah, this is irrelevant. All this is showing is his friend, and that his friend is being taken. And this is completely irrelevant to his actions. I shouldn't even have to pause this to say this, guys. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even bother pausing.
To watch? Give me a
It's something
problem.
that's so obvious.
What is it? Give you what?
Tell me what I'm gonna see.
You're gonna see Officer Tyson confess that he was joking about what he said
About what he said about what?
about me striking him.
Okay, that's it.
Let me drink it, man. This is the one at the bottom. Yeah, I've seen. Twenty-one ninety-one, that's his phone number. Yes, sir, that's just my way of not having the right 734. What's up? Check before.
Wait, Your Honor, can we pause, please?
Pause it.
Your Honor, this is information not relevant to this defendant. This is a separate person's name and date of birth now that's being put out, is not relevant to this. He has privacy rights that I did not play any portion of the video revolving him specifically to respect his rights and not be a part of this. He doesn't have to be. So I'm objecting to the playing of this. If we could get to the point of whatever the defendant is.
Thank you. All right. I appreciate the prosecutor. Like, we're done with this bullshit.
Trying to put before the court, I really appreciate it.
It's coming right here, Your Honor.
Well,
And I would argue that Jacob Spaulding would be a key central figure since he's the reason I was detained in the first place.
yes, but that doesn't mean he's giving consent to have all of his stuff put out there. What are you? So where's the part about him joking?
He quite literally says it, Your Honor. And I have certified records that have been transcribed from the Michigan
Certified by whom?
by a certified Michigan court transcriber, but nevertheless, he's.
Well, if you're
he's present.
saying you have something that says that, because I did not hear that. So if you say have something that says, no, do not play over me when I'm talking. Stop. Cut it off.
Wow.
No, we're not doing it that way, Mr. Magoo. You're playing by this court's rules. Plain and simple.
I'm trying to, Your Honor.
No, you're not. You're
Promise.
trying to play by your own rules.
Oh.
And it's not gonna, do not shake your head at me, because it's not gonna happen. I'm letting you know that now. Now, if you're claiming you have some certified transcript, where is it? And has it been turned over to the people?
It'll be submitted after I have a digital copy of it.
Have you submitted it to the people before
I
today?
just got it. No, just got it. Same videos I had.
I don't even know how you're gonna, I don't even know how that gets in, but I'm not even gonna worry about that at this point. Go
Did you
ahead.
hear what was said?
Continue with your questioning.
Did you hear the part where you said you were just joking? What did you say? You told the ambulance that you were kicked in the nuts?
Yes.
And then what? Laughing? And at that time, in between that point where you said you got kicked in the nuts and you started laughing, did you hear the part where you said, "I'm just joking, haha, you got to deal with me for the rest of the night"? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We got 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes until we're at the hour mark. We can do this.
I'll be wrapping up right here, Your Honor. I just want to clarify. um,
Clarify what?
In your
Stop
opinion,
mid-sentence.
what
Let it hang.
what justified the search and detainment of me that day?
Resisting and obstructing. He gave you directives to walk away, you did not.
To the gentleman that went away in the vehicle. Of obstruction. I was obstructing your medical evaluation. Because you at no point, you admitted that you had no point to plan on charging him with a crime. You guys were doing a great thing out there. You guys were helping him out. You guys were making sure.
Are
he
you,
was-
is there a question?
I'm trying to clarify.
No, is there a question?
Yeah. At what point do your medical evaluation supersedes my personal rights to public space?
Hey, yeah, the form of the question, and that calls for a legal
me.
conclusion. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna sustain the objection.
Yeah.
Is there any witnesses? Did you guys get any witnesses on the scene
To what?
to all these crimes that I'm charged with?
There's 2 other ones.
Is there anybody else on the scene that you guys talked to that put me on any kind of any
There are
He
2
kinda-
other officers.
crime?
Are you?
What crime do you think I'm guilty of?
Sustained,
Objection.
sustained.
I don't speak legalese, Your Honor. I'm really trying.
No. Shut the fuck. Sorry. I need it.
Again, I don't need your satire. Just next question.
Oh my god, I missed Pocket. I missed Pocket watching with JT in the chat. Hey, what's up, man? Everybody go check him out. He does financial scams. He's really good at what he does. Like,
You
guys,
said
check him
that
out
you reviewed
whenever
these
you can.
tapes beforehand?
Real quick, pause. Ed, he does financial scams, and as you guys know, financial scams and sovereign citizens tend to mesh a lot. So to go check him out.
These videos? Did you at all review that part of you speaking with the ambulance when they arrived?
What?
Did you at any time read me my Miranda rights? Before your arrest, you did not read me my Miranda rights.
No, I did not.
If I'm gonna ask you questions, I have questions about anything.
Yeah.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Oh, thank
Any
God.
redirect? Your excuse, sir. Thank you. How many more witnesses do you have, Miss Landy? One? Okay, I'm gonna take about a 10-minute break because I'm gonna need it, and then you can call your next witness. Court's gonna stand in recess.
All rise.
All right, you know what? I think we'll go ahead and stop there. I think that's a perfect stop to this part. We'll watch this We'll watch the second witness tomorrow. Oh my god. Oh, this is pain. This is actual pain. Yeah. And I feel like a part of the problem was like, wasn't in his last two hearings, this guy, was he not like acting very, very arrogant too? Like, oh, I don't need no attorney, you know, and then really interrupting Judge Simpson. Like he had an ego in those first two hearings, as I recall, to the point where Judge Simpson had to bring him down a couple pegs. But yeah. So I guess we'll suffer through it tomorrow. Draco probably not gonna stream Skyrim. Well, at least not tonight. But we'll see. As you can see, I'm yawning. I gotta take care of I gotta take the trash out. And put my laundry away. So all right, you guys have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. And yeah, we'll make it. All right, guys, we'll make it. All right. Hit that like button on your way out. Check out my Discord. It always helps the channel. All right. See ya. Bye-bye.